Hello everyone, welcome back to this Microsoft Excel tutorial journey with me on my Knowledge Factor YouTube channel. This is the 95th session today and we are learning the pivot tables in Microsoft Excel. So let's today take a look at how you can more visually display your pivot table data. What we have got here is pretty good as far as visually displaying a list and summarizing that data, right? You have got hundreds or thousands of records, and now I want to quickly summarize the data and display that inside my report. But now I want to take it even a step further. We are going to take our pivot table data and turn it into a chart. Now we saw charts earlier and saw a whole bunch of features involved in charts. You can see practically the same thing here. The difference here is the chart is based off of the pivot table. If the pivot tables update, then your chart updates as well. Watch this. So I'm just going to click into the pivot table. Doesn't matter where, just as long as you are within that table. Once I'm in there, I'm going to go up into my pivot table analyze tab, and towards the right there's an option for pivot chart. So I'm going to give that a click. Opens up a very similar almost exact insert chart window that we saw earlier. So here I'm going to grab just a column chart, do the default standard 2D cluster, and I'll hit OK. And there's my pivot table or my pivot chart based on the pivot table. Now it's currently covering up, and I'm going to leave it right here just to explain a bit on what's it's showing off, just because it fills my screen. Now we have got the y-axis there for the sales amount, and we have got our x-axis there for months. So it's taken the values there along the y and the month along the x. Great. But it's also trying to include the monthly percentage, and they are very tiny. They're very tiny, that's why there's a negative value there as well here. So well, I don't really like that, at least inside my chart. Look at inside the pivot table, but I'm going to include it inside the chart or inside the pivot table. It's going to get included in the chart, and I don't want it here, so I'm going to go back to my fill list, and I'm going to take out the monthly percentage, and I'm just going to drag that out of there, and I've updated the pivot table and it updated my chart as well. So the two are connected. You update one and it updates the other as well. And you have got what with the chart selected, you do get design tab, format tab, and a pivot chart analyze tab. You have got all your formatting options up there. Everything that we talked about earlier with charts is going to be found up there as well. So you want to change colors, you want to add an element, you want to move an element such as the legend or the title. You're going to find it all inside the same spot as you did with the standard chart as well. So really the big difference here between what we created earlier with the standard chart versus the pivot table chart, which is based off a pivot table. You update the pivot table structure, right away you get an update inside your chart. And if I move stuff around, let's say I want to grab a year and I drop that down into the row section, which is actually now the axis categories because I have the chart selected. I'll drop it above month, and now I have got year and month in there, right? Look at that, so cool, right? Pivot table updated, the chart updated, all one spot. Very cool. You're looking at creating a dashboard inside of Excel. Pivot tables are huge inside of Excel dashboards. Quickly summarize list data, then you can create a chart based off of that, and you have got a nice little beginning of a dashboard inside of Excel. So try this out. Click into your pivot table, go up to the pivot table analyze tab, and you can create your chart from there.